hi. Say hi. Hey guys, what is up? It is Hannah. It's been a while. Some things have changed since my last video. As you can see, we have a very pretty girl with me, Lily. She just woke up. I'm about to feed her. Hey. She knows that this pasty is not food and she's getting upset. So just a quick life update, honestly. It's been over a year since my last video. I went and checked today and that honestly gave me motivation to make a video because it's a long time due. In the past year, I started graduate school, which was a lot harder than I expected. Last fall, I started back my old job. I was working between 30 to 50 hours a week, and my first semester was just kind of brutal. I slipped a little bit in my overall health, mental and physical, and then in January, I figured out that I was pregnant. And it kind of made sense as to some things that were going on with me in November and December. Stayed in school that semester, started a job with the university that I was working at. Trucked through the summer with working and being in school, mostly until the last month in July, and I was just doing school, and then I had baby in August. So it has been I guess you could say a busy year. To me, that's still not an excuse for not doing videos. A lot of it had to do with my health, and I didn't feel like I was in a place to tell people anything. I really didn't like being pregnant physically. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't really like the way I felt most of the time. I think it's a beautiful natural process, and I'm so grateful that I had a healthy pregnancy. I didn't feel confident enough to put myself in front of a camera and tell people how my life was. I'm finally getting back to a place where I do feel more myself. Working through that postpartum body is tough. I have struggled with an eating disorder since I was probably 15, and pregnancy and postpartum is not great for that. So I've been working through that a lot. I really just want to do something besides tend for a baby 24/7. So let's make some YouTube videos. I definitely still going to continue talking about my health and fitness, but I also really want to share with the world kind of what it's like for me to be a first-time mom with not really knowing anything prior to this life, and what that is like for me. Every day I feel like I'm doing something wrong, but every day I also feel like I'm making accomplishments. Definitely figuring out as I go, but I would love to share with people my experience and I guess my pregnancy and postpartum have been like, and how that can help others. Starting off, I would like to talk a little bit about my body change. Definitely don't look the same as I did in my last video, and I partly am kind of learning to accept the way I look today and focusing on that. I gained a lot of weight in my pregnancy. I think more than I really ever expected. It was the highest I've ever weighed in my life, and I think I told my mom I'm finally at a weight that I have been at another point in my life, so it feels good to kind of be back down to a weight I've actually been and not the highest I've ever been. I didn't weigh myself a lot throughout my pregnancy because it was just honestly too hard for me. I always closed my eyes when I did my weight, just because it wasn't good for my sanity. And then I did check one of my OBGYN reports. That was really hard for me. I cried on the bathroom floor for like an hour. This was what I looked like at 8 weeks pregnant. I had lost a lot of weight, probably the lowest I've been in years. I wasn't eating a lot near the end of my first semester, which wasn't good because I was pregnant and didn't know it. I was also kind of sick a lot, morning sickness, but I didn't know that's what was going on. I was stressed out during finals. I've never experienced graduate school finals, and I just think a combination of a lot of things. I was still working out and not eating enough, black and white as I am. Went from not eating anything to eating a lot, and I didn't work out for a little while because I was so tired in the mornings. I started working out again in my second trimester, and I worked out all the way up until I think about 36 weeks. And then from 36 to 39 weeks, I still walked at least 3 to 5 times a week. This is me about a couple days before I went in to get induced and went into labor with Sweet Lily. And then this is me about 4 weeks postpartum. So I have been up and down a lot on the weight scale. Try not to weigh myself as much. I think I've talked about it in my past videos. I usually like progress pictures over weight because sometimes you can look, you know, great and weigh more and you can't see that progress because you're just focused on a number. I still have an obsession with my weight, and once I started back weighing myself, it's been hard to stop. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I haven't been weighing myself, because I have. I was up to 190 pounds in my pregnancy. Within the first week of my postpartum, I was back down to 170, which, if that tells you anything, it was a lot of water weight. I had swelled up bad. So once I got all that swelling down out of me, I lost a lot of that weight. Obviously baby, obviously placenta, obviously amniotic fluid. I do breastfeed, and that also helped really drop my weight down. And now I've kind of hit a plateau. Haven't really lost any weight. Kind of been staying in the 160s. I was 135, 140 pounds before I figured out I was pregnant. So I still feel like in my brain I have a long way to go. Sweet Lily's still asleep. Tomorrow I'll be 5 weeks postpartum. I know there's mixed emotions about this. A lot of people told me like, oh, my doctor told me I can't start working out until 6 weeks or whatever. I really know my body, and that's kind of what he told me is, you know your limits, don't overdo it. So I took it easy, and I realized that I was fine. I really could be back to normal again. And for me, working out is part of my normalcy. It's also part of like ways to keep me sane. So during crazy hours of having a newborn, getting an hour in of working out for me helps me with my baby. I'm with Lily from Monday through Friday, the majority by myself until late afternoon when her dad gets home, and on weekends he's home. So I can go to the gym on weekends at pretty much any time. I try and go in the mornings, so I always get at least 2 days in, and then I can fit in 1 to 3 extra days where I go before he goes to work in the morning, but I have to go roughly around 5:30 to get a full workout in before he leaves around 7. It really depends on when she feeds, but these past couple days she's kind of gotten into a better routine at night where she does feed her between like 3-4:30, and I'll go after I feed her. Roughly 3 to 5 days a week I'm going to the gym. I don't have a legitimate schedule because she can interrupt my schedule very easily, which is fine. And if I make a routine and a schedule and I don't fit it, I get frustrated. So instead of causing frustration, if I can get 3 days in a row, I think last week I got 3 days in a row where I was able to do pull push legs, and then I wasn't able to go for 2 days, so then I just combined my pull push in 1 day and then did legs the next day. Obviously I can do some stuff at the house with her while she's here, home workouts and such. I do go on a lot of walks with her, so I definitely can get in like cardio doing that, especially in Mississippi heat. Moving forward with my videos, I will kind of show y'all what I have been doing with my fitness and health, more specifically postpartum, and kind of what I did during my pregnancy, and kind of what life looks like with a newborn. I just fed her and put her back down, so I will say goodbye for her and me. As always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you want to keep up, please do. Please let me know what you guys are looking, if you're still watching me, because I know it's been a year. I think that's going to wrap it up. Hopefully I'll have a video out in the next week or so, so keep up with that.